So you want to play rugby but have absolutely no nerves once you step onto the pitch. This video is exactly for you, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to be a confident and dominant player on the field. So my name's Hassan. I've made this channel to help support and give advice and tips to young rugby players who are trying to improve and play at a high level. If that's something you're interested in, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video. With that being said, guys, I've got this piece of paper with me today which has a few pointers that I want to go through with you guys, and hopefully there'll be something that I mentioned today which helps you improve and become a more confident and successful player on the pitch. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is reminding yourself about preparation. Now, in terms of preparation, you do so much preparation during the week for your training sessions. You know, the one thing that I think a lot of players forget is the work that they've put in. I think it's really important to just reflect and remember that you've gone through all of the things you need to do. You've ticked off all the boxes in training, and the best part is you've done that with your teammates who are your friends as well. So you've got to share that experience with them as well. Being able to, go through that in your head and remember that, you've gone through every scrum, every line out call, all the calls in terms of attack, you've worked on all the technical things that you need to do. And now it's just a case of going out there on the pitch and actually executing, just reminding yourself that you have a job to do, but you've done all the work already is really important. Once you've got this in your mind already, I feel like it becomes a lot easier once you step onto the pitch, because you've got that confidence in you then, where you can say to yourself that you've already done all this stuff before. It's just a case of executing it to the highest standard now. The next thing I'd say is, before a game, maybe the day before, have a bit of social relaxation as well. Don't get too riled up the day before a game. If you can, just do something that you find relaxing. I don't know, it could be playing video games, for example. It could be playing a different sport. Maybe you want to go out on a walk, or you just want to sit down and watch TV. Whatever it is that relaxes you and keeps you calm and composed and takes your mind off rugby can be a really good thing for you. But then also, if you're someone who wants to, on game day, interact, but you feel really nervous, and you can sometimes feel the anticipation building up within the changing room, a good thing I would say is just talk in the changing rooms. Talk to the person next to you. If there's always those characters in the team who are quite loud and bouncy. You might have a speaker where there's music playing. If you're someone who's a bit more quiet and reserved, just listen to the music and just bump your head confidently, get into the groove of things, visualize what you're going to do as well. It's really useful. But I prefer to chat, because chatting is really important, because that's what you got to be doing on the rugby pitch. You got to be a good communicator. So if you can kind of get your body used to just chatting to the people next to you, around you, and get through the motions of just speaking, it's going to help you a lot on the pitch and get your mind in the right place as well. So yeah, social interaction is very important, guys, and I'd recommend just doing that in whatever way works best for you. If you're more of an introvert, then do something a bit more suited for you. But if you're a loud and confident player already who likes to talk and sometimes scream and shout in the change room, by all means do that as well. If you find confidence in hyping and riling up your teammates, do that. Do what you need to do to get yourself in that confident frame of mind. Next, I would say, is make sure that you have controlled breathing. Now, this is something that wasn't really like a thing within my game or anything that I really kind of picked up on until probably this season, to be fair. Credit to one of my teammates, he kind of introduced it to us as a unit, and I think it's really good, because especially once let's say for example the opposition has scored a really early try, and you feel like you're already on the back burners, a lot of players and a lot of teams can really kind of feel that pressure from the get-go, and they really struggle to come back to equalizing and then winning a game. But we kind of adopted this thing where just taking some deep and composed breaths together really kind of cooled the nerves and kept us level-headed, so then we can remind ourselves that we have to do the next job and focus on the next piece of play, rather than keeping that mistake or that try that the team have scored in our minds. It's a really good way of going about and operating on the field, and it really does calm down those nerves that you could have. The final thing I want to talk about in terms of how you can play with no nerves and have a lot of confidence is just remembering your individual role on the field. Obviously, every position is there for a reason. You're going to have specialized roles that you really want to strive and, shine out for the right reasons. So, whether you're a kicker, really focus on your kicking, making sure you're getting those kicks clinically through the post. If you're a forward, if you're a prop, focus on your scrimmaging. If you're a flanker, try and get around those breakdowns, try and steal the ball, get some turnovers through the jackal. If you're a second row or a number 8, try and get some big dominant carries to, get your confidence going. And yeah, just really focus on the job that you have as an individual player and focus on your individual contributions that you can bring to your team. Once you kind of lay out those kind of goals in your mind and things that you want to achieve, it makes everything else much more easy because you're minimizing the whole general impact or significance of the game just down to a few simple tasks that you need to do as an individual. But when 15 team players all come together and do that as one, it means that you now are a very, very competitive side, and I assure you you'll be very successful if you guys can go about your game in this way. But yeah, guys, that was basically it in terms of how you can play rugby with zero nerves and be a much more confident player. I hope this video has helped and given you some useful information on how you can, keep yourself relaxed and composed. And with that being said, guys, I want to thank you for subscribing to the channel and supporting the videos. If you think there's something else that I could have added onto the list, please do comment down below. And with that being said, guys, have a great day and thank you for watching.